Yo guys, what's going on? My name's Tyler. This is Cole from the Putback Podcast.
What's up?
So we're gonna talk a little bit. This is gonna be episode 0. We're gonna talk a little bit about 4 different topics: who we are, what the podcast tends to, what it's gonna be, a little bit of our sports history, and then our actual favorite basketball teams. I believe both of us are repping it a little bit. He's got it on his hoodie. I'm wearing the hat, but it's backwards. So you wanna go first? Just telling a little bit about who you are, and then get into your sports history.
Hey everyone, my name's Cole. I played football in high school. Played a lot of park basketball. Didn't get into that high school stuff or a league, anything, nothing like that. But football was my thing in high school. Loved basketball though. My team is the Raptors. No, I am not a bandwagon fan. I've been a fan for about, what would you say, Tyler, 6-7 years?
It's probably, we were still in high school, so it's at least 6 years ago now. Yeah, 2013, yeah, 6 years.
6 years.
So you kind of skipped right over some of the sport history. What position did you play when you played football?
Oh, I was lineman or linebacker, one of the two. Because these things, not really useful.
Don't work.
Can't catch anything.
Any notable moments?
When I was like 9, I broke a dude's arm.
Broke a dude's arm. There's also a picture of him right before he decked some guy in the head. So that was fun. Who was that? Was that Ronnie?
Talk about.
There was a picture you showed me. There was 2 guys on the ground, and you ended up punching one of them in the head like a couple minutes later. And it was like a biddy, like biddy basketball, whatever that is for football, like biddy football, whatever it was.
Okay. Yeah.
And he's very modest. He went like 10-0 in like middle school or some shit like that.
Yeah. We had a 10-0 Super Bowl season. That was fun.
So Cole, big bad mean guy. He's bully growing up. You can tell just by looking at his face. And you got into a little bit about the Raptors. Want to talk about that?
Yeah. I decided to become a Raptors fan, which is weird because I'm from the Philadelphia area. But I grew up a football fan and a hockey fan, and I absolutely hated all Philadelphia teams and all New York teams. So, I'm like, Raptors, that's a cool logo. Go with Raptors.
There we go. Very simple in his choices. So, I'm going to get into a little bit about me. So, name's Tyler, a little bit of sports history. I didn't play any high school ball. I played a little bit of middle school basketball, but I was too short, fat, and don't remember it, and choose not to remember it.
Sorry.
It's cool. I played in 2 rec league basketball games. One was not games, but leagues. One was a church league, and the other one was just a summer league. Over in Lewis, Delaware. I live in Delaware now. As far as like a notable moment, the first league I played in was a church league. In the semifinals, I ended up finishing the game with 11 points and 10 rebounds. That was cool. We were down in the semifinals, so it was cool to kind of help bring the team back.
Look at you with the double-double.
The first and only double-double I've ever gotten in my entire life. But, you know, it is what it is. I tend to be a little bit more of a rebounder. I average like 7 to 8 rebounds both leagues. And then as far as my team is the Brooklyn Nets. I'm wearing the hat backwards. I can't do flat bill forward. That shit just doesn't make sense to me. So let me got the Brooklyn Nets on. I gotta put this headset back on, otherwise I can't hear Cole. So Brooklyn Nets fan. For timeline purposes, I've been a basketball fan pretty much my whole life. I didn't start watching seriously until about 2011, 2012 when it was like the Joe Johnson, Paul Pierce, a little bit of KG in there. But I've been a fan of the Nets since like Drazen Petrovic, Richard Jefferson. Cole told me I can't have Vince Carter, so I'm not even gonna bring.
No, Vince Carter's mine.
He played for like half a season. Bro. It's all right. Jason Kidd, stuff like that. So I've been a fan for a very long time. I actually have a whole New Jersey like get up thing. I don't know how to explain it. What are you pulling off?
Whoa, what was that?
I don't know. So that's pretty much a little bit of my sports history and then a little bit about my team. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the podcast as well. This is going to be a weekly podcast. I've already been all over the social medias, and I probably should talk to you about this already, saying 8 a.m. on Monday morning because I'm going to be the one uploading it, if that's cool.
That works.
But I was just thinking about how we're going to completely miss out on talking about Sunday night games. So I was thinking maybe like Sunday night, but I think I'm just going to do Monday at 8 a.m. because that makes more sense.
Yeah, I figured we'd talk about Monday night games.
Well, I mean, like, so if we record this right now, which should be this time every week, I would assume, or like sometime throughout the week, then we're going to miss out on anything that would have happened Sunday night, you know what I mean, by posting Monday morning. But we can talk a little bit about Sunday night games as well. But it's pretty much going to be, we got a couple different segments planned out. Cole's got what I'm going to call like hot takes, something like that. Seeing as I have a lot of basketball experience, and you know he knows a little bit about the game as well. He's got a couple of questions picked out that he's going to ask me every week. We're going to see how well that works.
I figured I'd give you a 24-second clock to answer.
That's a little excessive, all right? I always beat the shot clock. I got a couple things written down on my phone for the first episode, what I'm going to call like quick looks, tiny looks at some of the things that happened this last week. Like one of the things that I want to talk to you about. Did you see the clip where LeBron almost killed a man? Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
I want to talk a little bit about that in the first episode because I just watched that game back on NBA TV and that shit was nasty. And the other one that I want to do is a week's prediction. So talking about some of the games coming up, some of the key games coming up, and kind of give our predictions on those. So that's roughly what the podcast is going to be. We're going to swap segments in and out and see what works best. Anything else you got to add as far as the podcast?
No, I think you covered it all.
As far as guests, I doubt we're ever going to have any.
Maybe Joe once in a while.
Yeah, maybe our boy Joe. But I saw on Snapchat that he got hammered last night, so I doubt he'd be awake for this. They played beer pong with water because they didn't have the red cups and they were drinking all the alcohol. I saw it on Keith's Snapchat, but probably Joe every once in a while. He's a 76ers fan. He has been since AI. So we might have him on every once in a while, but that's pretty much what the podcast is going to be. If you guys enjoy it and are looking forward to it, drop a like. If you guys are seeing a clip on IG, drop a follow. Same thing with Twitter. And subscribe to the channel as well. Should be doing this every week. I'm excited for it.
Let's go.
All right. We don't know how to end this thing yet, so peace.